VE3 Delta, anybody on there?
Sorry, station calling. VE3VWP. Brian here.
VE3VWP, VE3WGD. Good afternoon.
Good day, Jeff. Yeah, I see your calling coming up on my display here. You must be around for a while because this is an old Motorola radio that only has 1,000 contacts. So I put the last time I probably updated this thing was like 6 or 7 years ago.
Well, that's way too long, man. What's your name again?
Brian. B-R-I-A-N, Brian. Go ahead.
Yeah, VE3VWP, VE3WGD. Yeah, I was trying D-Star, and I don't know if my signal is going through. Do you have a D-Star capability?
No, not really. I'd have to unpack it. I haven't been on D-Star in years. I just hang out on DMR.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You know, it's something to do. I go on D-Star Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays, and I check this one once in a while. I should be checking it more often. I wonder if there's any nets on tonight on here.
What? There might be, I can't remember if it's tonight or tomorrow night, but the guys have a, what do they call it, a ham radio rookies net? I think it's called ham radio rookies if you Google it. They have it. It's a guy from, a bunch of guys. It originates out of Australia, and they rotate all around the talk groups, so it's kind of a neat thing. Wayne WWM, he's on it here. And like I say, I think it's around 7 o'clock. It's called Ham Radio Rookies. I think it's a DMR net or something like that. And yeah, and they move around between talk groups, so it's kind of a neat concept.
Yeah, it's right on this station here, right?
Yeah, for a while, and then they move around, but they'll tell you where they're going. So they move around the world on different talk groups, but they spend a bit of time on here. I think they started out here.
Yeah, I want to get back onto the nets because I got nothing to do. I had my place sprayed today for bed bugs, and I thought, well, there's nothing else to do except get on the radio and chew the rag, you know.
N1T, I believe it's TKN or NKT or something down in Sarasota from KA1GDQ Mobile. I fixed my problem.
These little plugs and spray different parts. So that's good. Good due diligence. Yeah, what part of the province are you in? I'm near Orangeville.
The station I was talking to in Sarasota is KA1GDQ.
I'm in Etobicoke, Toronto area. Albion and Kipling. GDQ. Joe, go ahead.
Oh yeah, Albion and Kipling. I spent some time up that way in my teenage years, but that'd be a few years ago now, like the 70s. So, but yeah, I know the area well. I used to go to the high school down, well, in Islington, just above Dixon there, but it's Catholic school now, but it used to be called Keelan Mackay. I think right now it's called Don Bosco. But yeah, used to hang out there, the Rexdale Mall and stuff like that. Spent time there, had a friend that lived on Bergamot Crescent there, so I know the area well, but I haven't been there in a while. I'm 65 now, so I left there in my 20s.
75 and 4. So, how's the weather down there today, Mike? Because up here in Marlborough, Mass, with my girlfriend, it's 49 degrees. KA1 GDQ.
It's in New Brunswick, Canada, to Toronto to live. And Toronto's not like it used to be, I'll tell you. Across the other side of the room, but it was supposed to be close to 80, I think, today. Joe. But we're getting cooler weather now, which is really nice, especially in the mornings. It's much more enjoyable to be outside. And then in a few weeks, it'll be just lovely, God willing. So, yeah. We're formerly from Connecticut, hence the N1 call, so we know the cold weather there that you're going to be getting. And my sister-in-law lives in Plainville, Connecticut, so we're well acquainted with that. Joe, back to you. Operator Dave, N1TKN.
Yeah, so, yeah, I bet you miss Moncton. I love Moncton. We've got a good friend there. He's a member and cooker. So, we get out there whenever we can. Not lately, though.
Stuff, we work for the same contractor for the Navy. He's down that way. So, all right, sounds good. And unfortunately, I got to keep it short now because I'm pulling into the driveway. But good talking to you. And I'll maybe catch you later on this one. Maybe tomorrow, I'll try it again. There's the repeater I use is in Southborough, Massachusetts. And unfortunately, there's a couple of dead spots for that. So I tried, and then the radio really wasn't that good. I had to do a second reboot on it because I wasn't hitting anything. And so I shut everything down and rebooted a second time, and then that's when I was able to get you when I was on top of the junker 20 and 495. So, all right, well, 7-3. I'm going to go inside and we'll catch you later, Dave. N1 TKN, Sarasota, Florida, KA1 GDQ, here in the Central Mass.
Now, since I figured out how to operate the Kenwood 74 handheld, I got the Kenwood 74D. It's a handheld, and it's a little hard to operate, but my uncle bought it for me last year, and it's starting to work quite well, actually.
All right, we'll catch you later on. KA1 GDQ, Curity. Oh, okay. Well, you're doing okay. Now, that's, so it's Kenwood. So is it the digital radio, or are you using something else for digital? You know, I've not kept up with the Kenwood model numbers. I've had Kenwoods over the years, but I've kind of lost touch with them. What is that what you're talking on now?
No, I'm talking on the Motorola 6550.
We're twins. That's exactly what I'm talking to you on. I have a 6550 as well. I actually have two of them. I bought them. I sort of got them used quite a few years ago. I've had this one probably for 6 or 7 years. But it's my play around outside beat up radio that doesn't, it's waterproof if I forget it outside or if I drop it. It's a survivor because I've broken some other radios or maybe damaged them by playing around, working around outside, and then they come off your belt. Or one time I left one in the hot tub for half an hour, so that put that to the test, and it failed. But the Motorola, you could probably throw it at somebody and it wouldn't hurt it.
Oh, I want to go that far. Yeah, I don't know. I want to get an extra battery for this. I guess I gotta go to Lakeshore Electronics at 30-meter drive to get another battery for it. The batteries I heard are not cheap.
That's where I get mine. They last a long time. But yeah, I probably get, well, because I use it every day. I monitor, because I'm retired, so I'm around, so I keep it on all the time. So I scan, you know, this and a couple of local FM repeaters. So it scans all day, pretty well every day. And I guess it goes about 5 years. And I think they're about 70 or 80 bucks. But every once in a while you'll catch them, they'll say, hey, we got some that are expired and we'll give them to you cheaper. A friend of mine did that. And he gave me one, and I think I've had that battery for about 4 years now. So sometimes they'll do that too. So anyways, but they do last. They're worth it.
V3 W. Oh boy, I forgot your call sign again. V3WGD.
Yeah, just think of black and white picture. Black and white picture. It's my initials, actually. So I've been into this a while. I got into this a long time ago. So and I'm really, and you know what? Now I'm retired, and boy, I'm into it probably even more than I was. But barely a day goes by where I don't talk on the radio.
Okay, so your call sign's V3 VWP, right?
You got it. That's exactly correct. How long have you been at this? Because you must have been around. You've had your call for a while, and you've had your DMR ID for a while.
I got mine 2006, my license, and this radio I got about 4 years ago. The first 6550 I bought from somebody, and the button went on it, and I don't know. I don't know if I should get it fixed or what.
Lakeshore charges flat rate. I think it's $80. I've broken a couple. I've had a couple things too. I got them because one I got had been used. You know, I mean, it was. And that one was actually sort of traded. We traded. Actually, I traded a D-Star radio for it because somebody wanted to try D-Star and I wanted to try DMR, and I had two D-Star radios. So, anyways, I think yeah, I got. They did everything to it. They resealed it. Resealed all the knobs. They put the clicker back on the knob, I think. And then I had a bad PTT button, I think. And I think it was $80. Maybe a bit more. I can't remember.
Yeah. Oh, what was I going to say? No, I got a brain freeze. Oh, boy.
No, you said you got your call sign in 2006. That's when I asked you how long you've been on. And then we got into your other 6550 with a bad button.
Yeah. My other 6550, the push-to-talk button's got to be replaced. Also, the volume button, when you turn it on, you don't hear the click. So I gotta get that fixed if I can find it.
Well, those were the exact two problems I had. So I think they charge a bit more if you get the clicker fixed on the volume. You can live without that. I still have one that doesn't click, and I've left it, but the PTT got it really annoying. I couldn't squeeze it the right way, and so if you get them to quote you on both. But if they might just fix the PTT, like I say, I think that was the base rate, like 60 or $80. I don't know. It's been a few years since I sent it out, but I actually sent out. I think I've sent them both out at one point or another. Yeah, so they're pretty reasonable and they're worth it because boy, they last. You know, they really stand up. It's still my favorite radio. The only thing is it doesn't shuttle those. You know, the callers, like as many of them as like the other newer ones, but I don't care. The radio, I'm not, you know, I keep it with me, and if it gets wet, it gets wet. If it falls, it falls. And, cause, you know, when I'm doing chores and stuff out on the property or something, if I, you know, whereas I took a regular ham radio and it was all scratched and, you know, and it all looked like hell after about a year or so. These things, you can do everything to them, and they still looks like shiny new. I just rinse it off into the tap.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I like the 6550 a lot. Ever since I bought my first one, and I got used to it, I like it a lot. I don't think it would have anything else except the 6550. It's pretty rugged.
Oh yeah, if I had to choose anything, this is a radio I usually reach for first, but I got one of those Anytones, a few years ago. That one's all fancy. It shows you who's, it looks up call signs and stuff and shows you, I think, up to like 200,000 possible worldwide contacts or something. So what do you use then to get in? Do you just use the repeater? Is there a repeater down there you use, or do you have one of the hotspots?
Well, there was a repeater for a while till some stuff started going on, some jamming and that, and then they shut the repeater down, and another one opened up. So, yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on here in Toronto. I presume you know about it.
Oh yeah, I know about it. Yeah, I use the when I'm in Toronto, I find the handheld, the WOO one on the WOO, I think it is, on top of the what do you call it, the First Canadian Place. I use that one. I think there's one on the CBC building too. Anyways, the WOO is one I use the most. When I'm here, I'm up on the escarpment, so I can sort of almost see the CN Tower from here, but I got a hill in the way. So in the house, I can't quite hit that repeater, and there's nothing really full strength near me, so I have to use a hotspot when I'm home. But when I'm driving and stuff, those Toronto repeaters, and there's one in the King City, and I've got the big brother to the, the big brother to the 6550. I have the 4550 mobile as well in the car, and that's great.
Yeah, I like to have a Raspberry Pi, but I'd have to have somebody set it up for me, you know. Something that all modes.
Well, that's quite doable if you've got somebody nearby, or you put out the right word, or get on. I don't know if you use Facebook or any of the email reflectors, but if you get on, there's people that are close by. I've set up a couple of people here because they were getting up in years and they weren't really big on computers, and they had to downsize. You know, they had to give up houses that had antennas and stuff like that, and they had to live. You know, they're up in years, or they're limited, and maybe not so up in years, but anyways, they live in situations where they can't have an antenna, so the DMR keeps them happy, and they still keep in touch with even old HF contacts. So I've done that for a few people, and so I know there's a bunch of people out there that help people locally.
Yeah, anyways, I got company coming, so I should let you go.
Okay, good chatting with you. Your signal is perfect. Your audio is just the right level. You got it all set just perfect there. That's a great radio. So, okay, it was nice meeting you, Jeff. And your call sign does sound familiar, so maybe we've spoken before. Okay, well, you take care. And I'm around usually, so 73.
Well, it's just a delivery for pills. I thought my friend was here.
Oh, okay. No, that's good. I can hang around for a few more minutes then. Yeah, I just came in. I was working outside dealing with stuff to make it stop stuff from freezing. Things that could freeze need to be drained. So I did all that. And I've got to, well, we live in the country, so we have to have equipment for the winter. So I have to get everything ready. So snow plows and snow blowers and stuff, like a tractor. But just the stuff we need. Because we're kind of in a bit of a snow belt here, so I'm just pecking away at that slowly, and just a bit at a time. I'm not going crazy here, and just not rushing at it.
Yeah, I got just a second. Yeah, I got a Yaesu FT70DR, and when the guy was spraying, I guess he didn't realize my radio was on the bed, and it dropped on the floor. And one day I was listening to it, and something happened to the speaker. It started, and something loose in it.
Oh, okay. Or maybe it picked up a metal filing or something. Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully it's not too big of a deal. Because they should be able to take a drop from a bed to a floor without any real problem. I mean, maybe off a 10-foot step ladder or something might be an issue, but I think I've dropped mine, so yeah, I hope something didn't. It's probably easily solved. That somebody's got brave enough to take them apart these days.